Hey YouTube, so this is a follow-up video on my steering wheel swap. In the previous video I swapped a 997 generation steering wheel to the one from a 2016 Macan, and I got this adapter, as you can see here, from gpsadapter that should convert it so that the multifunction will work. And also got this steering column module that I may or may not need. Actually, I just need it for the for this module, for this part, this piece. But I got the whole thing because I got this from eBay. This came off 2009 or 2010 Cayman. And I got it for the same price, or maybe even a little less than if I were to just buy the adapter. So I already popped it out just by pushing this towards the wire. You should feel a resistance, like a spring. So so I'm just gonna disconnect the connector and remove that bolt with a 12 triple square socket, and then install that adapter. Okay, and to remove the airbag connector, just use a little small screwdriver, lift up the orange tab. As you can see on the left side, I already lifted up that tab before, and then the connector just lifts off. Okay, I got the bolt removed, as you could see. Also have that red line that I marked previously, so this should just slip right off, as you could see here. Installing this shroud, I'm going to remove the paddle shifter since my car is a manual. I special ordered this, took about a week because it was a special order. It's about 50 bucks. So removing the paddle shifter should be pretty simple. Just removing the shroud with 3 torque screws, and then another screw that holds the paddle shifter, and disconnecting the wiring harness. So just gotta remove this screw, and this just lifts up like that, and then there's the harness that you disconnect right there. So I'm gonna install this adapter to the wheel and put the wheel back and test to see if it works. I may get lucky that my module having a multifunction before it may work. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm kind of excited to find out. But if I do need the steering module, like I mentioned, I do have it right here. But I'm gonna try it without it first. Okay, so this adapter looks like this connector. This connector and this connector looks like goes in between this module here, and so to get to it, I'm gonna remove these 3 screws, and it uses this Torx 20. Okay, next step, I guess, is to remove this connector lock so I can insert the 2 wires into the harness there. There's instructions on their website. Okay, looks like I got the red and black wire connector in. As you can see, it was a little tricky, but just gotta do it slowly and carefully. Okay, I finally got the 2 wires in, the red and black, into this harness. I did have a bit of difficulty. I had trouble getting that wire lock, that purple piece, back in, but even before that had trouble getting the pins in the right orientation. So where it's let me see if I could focus it, where the pins are lined up side by side, horizontal. I had it turned around 90 degree, which is wrong, so I had to take it out, and I was afraid I may have a hard time getting back out. There is a locking metal spring, but it did come out. But again, just take your time and try to do it right the first time, unlike what I did. But I'm glad it's that part's done. Okay, as you can see, I got the connectors plugged in. There's the adapter, goes in between the steering wheel module, and again, the instructions at the GPS adapter website. Okay, so I got the bolt steering wheel installed. As you can see, tightened it to 37 foot-pound. The 2 connector for the airbag, and I'm just going to show you how easy it should just pop right in, just like that. Okay, I got the steering wheel installed, as you can see, and the battery connected. So result is the multifunction does not work until I install the steering module. So it looks like I'm gonna have to do that. But what's also odd is the illumination. Only one side is working. I'm not sure why. Maybe it could be something wrong with the wheel wiring. I'm not sure, because I kind of doubt the steering module would have anything to do with only one side working. My steering wheel, I bought it used on eBay, and it's missing one of the harness. So I reached out to the seller, and he sent me a replacement wiring. So this part looks like it just pops off like so. Looks like I'm gonna have to remove the trim to get better access. So I'm removing these couple screws. There's also 2 on the other side. Okay, so I got it loose on the corner here. Looks like it should be enough to get that harness, get to the harness. As you can see, it's loose here. Okay, I got the trim loose. As you can see, the wire that came with the wheel is missing a connector right there. So I'm going to replace that harness. Okay, so I got 3 of the Torx 15 screws, and then there's a 4mm Allen screw on the bottom, which I'm going to loosen. And as you could see, this cover is off. Okay, it looks like I got it loose, so it just pulls out. As you can see here, it was a little bit stuck, but I had to kind of just wiggle it off slowly. Okay, and looks like there's a couple of harness. One for the airbag, and one is the clock spring, I think. So one on the left side and one on this side, that yellow connector you see there. So I'm just going to unplug it and replace it with the part I got. Okay, so I got the new steering column module in place, and it's basically just the hex screw at the bottom, on the bottom here, and then 3 Torx screw to remove the cover, and it just slides out, and a couple of wiring harness that I unplugged and plug back into the new unit. Okay, I got the wheel installed, as you could see, and then got the battery plugged in. So everything seems to be good. I was afraid I may get a steering angle sensor warning or something. So far I don't see that, but when I turn on the headlight nothing happens, and the volume and radio doesn't work. So what I did is I have this scan tool, this Foxwell NT-520, and I enabled the multifunction, and to my surprise it works. I didn't think this tool would support it, so as you can see, let's see here, the multifunction is now showing installed. Prior to that, the module that I got from eBay, it looks like it didn't have a multifunction, so it was disabled. So I just went in and edit and set it to installed, and it's working. Everything's working. The volume, let me turn on the light. The light illumination is working, as you could kind of tell there. Off, on, and then volume up, down is working with my aftermarket radio. Turn the knob here, turn it down. Let me see if the station up down's working. Yep, it's working. I just turned the knob and it changed station. So great, I'm pretty happy that it's working now. Okay, so I'm going to show you that everything works. Keep in mind I do have an aftermarket radio, so some of the function on the wheel it's not gonna work with the aftermarket radio. So starting with the illumination, turn on the headlight. As you can see, that works. Turn it off, turn it back on. The dimmer works also. Make it brighter, there you go. And then the volume. So we got volume up and down here. Push it in for mute, so I'm gonna turn up the volume. And then there you go, and then turn it down. And turn it back up. And then I'm gonna hit mute. And there's the mute off. And then the station up down here works.
Pay 2 times faster based on U.S. customers using QuickBooks Online invoice tracking and payment features from